Good evening, Tampa. Wow, there is so much energy in the room. I've been 31 years, Patty and I have been 31 years in the business. Now, some of you are not 31 yet. How many of you are not 31 yet? There's some 70-year-olds standing up right now. Dick always said to me, hey, look, the key to this business is building relationships. And, it's amazing right now, the people coming into the business, and Dick talked a little bit about it. I want to just kind of share with you our company story, what we do for the consumer. I'm going to simplify something for you here tonight. When I came into the business, this is a unique school because we've got the 3 largest recruiting base shops in the country all attending one event, okay? And we were never great recruiters. We were good recruiters, but we were really good at a couple things. So I want to just kind of share with you something I got good at that Dick told me, hey, if you get good at the kitchen table, if you get good at communicating one-on-one with people, with couples, then you can duplicate, teach others to do that. They're going to see success. They're going to make money. They're going to learn how to do the business. They're going to have people to see. They're going to have places to go, and they're going to be able to teach others to do that. And once you teach someone how to be self-sufficient and self-reliant, where they could take care of themselves, and they could present and get clients and build a business and get referrals and have recruits who believe in them and believe that they can learn from them. Once you do that, John, things are set. Once you teach others to do it, you get free. And an example of that is if you're in our hierarchy, just real quick, if you're in the Geniston base, or if you're in the Hubert Lejeune base, or the Frederick base, or the or Gene Fifey base, could you just stand up? I think those are our 4 bases, and my base. If you're just in any of those base shops, you just stand up real quick. So this is our Florida representation, okay? And I want to thank all of you so much from the bottom of my heart for all that you do. But what I want to share with you, thank you guys, you can sit. What I want to share with you is we don't have the biggest business. We don't have the biggest business, but people-wise. And hey, if I could have more, I would. I'm learning. I think I love being here because we're going to learn how to do that this weekend, and we're working on that. At Charlemont last month, I think your base shop recruited 160 some odd people. And our base shop recruited 84 people, so we're doing better. But that wasn't the 300 that Sam's got, and the 300 whatever, and the 300 over 300 that Brett's base got. But we're doing it. We're doing the best we can do. But I had to look at, well, what am I good at? And if I could teach a few people to be good at what I'm good at, we'll be okay. And let me tell you, our income has gone from $400,000 2 years ago to we're just at $690,000 in the last 12 months. Patty and I will go over $700,000 in income, and we've done that with just a good, solid business of people who can go out and write business and help families. And what I want you to know, I don't want you all to get intimidated by this thing. The great thing about Primerica is that you can find somebody that you can relate to, and you can learn, and then you can become a friend of theirs and learn from them and get audios of theirs and get a relationship going, and you can learn. And we get to all borrow each other's skills. Isn't that unbelievable? So I'm going to kind of dig in with you and share with you a little bit of what Dick said. He says, John, get good at making money. Get good at communicating the concept. So I'm going to share that with you. I think, see if I can get this. Is it ready? Something's beeping. Up. I got it. I'm clicking it. I don't see. Is it up there? Oh, it is. Okay, but it's not here. All right. So I can't see it. Is that my challenge? All right, I think I got it by memory. All right. See if I got it by memory. All right. So click it. Is it on there? Click. There we go. All right. 3 reasons why people get involved in our business. Does it say that? Okay. So let's just look real quick. I started in the business. I was 23 years old. Patty was 20 years old, maybe 19 years old. I had always dreamed of being a pro golfer. That wasn't working out. I had to figure out, now what was I going to do? 5 years to graduate, finally graduate college, public relations degree, and I answer an ad to go start selling waterless cookware. Have any of you ever met anybody that sells waterless cookware? Okay, well, the rest of you should avoid these people, all right? And I didn't like it. I liked what I was learning. I liked the freedom. I liked the sales. I didn't like that I was selling an overpriced product. I didn't like that it was a high-pressure sales deal. I didn't like prospecting. I didn't really feel it was professional. It wasn't me. But I did it. And then somebody called me, and I came in and looked at the company. And they sold me on 2 ideas when I walked in. They said, John, there's a couple things you could do here that really makes this company a difference. Number one is what we do for consumers really make a difference. Y'all, don't look at the screen. Just look up here for a minute. They said, what we do for the consumer really makes a difference. And I just want to set the foundation for you, because for me, the whole deal lies in this conversation that I'm going to talk with you about right now. And that is that we go to school and we get math and we get science and we get English and we get history, right? Remember all those courses? What course don't we get? We don't get taught money. We don't get taught Money 101 or Personal Finance 101 or how to win the money game or how not to be broke at age 65, right? I mean, how many of you, I'm curious, how many of you in this room have ever had a class, a course, a curriculum in the subject of you winning the money game? Personal finance. Raise your hand real quick if you had that. No, there's got 1, 2, 3. I see maybe 5 or 6 hands. Now, how many of you remember taking algebra? Not remember algebra. Taking algebra. All right, honestly, how many of you use longhand, other than the students that are here, you use longhand algebra on a regular basis? Because I don't know about you, I use a calculator. So we have years of algebra. No one's using it. Few. This one gentleman, thank you. I'm glad our education system has assisted you in your life. All right. Years of stuff we don't use, but the course that we really need, one of the courses we need, winning the money game, no one's taught. What's up with that? So that was said to me somewhere way back when I was 23 years old. And they said, in business, the key is to find a need and fill the need. Find what people want and need and fill the need, and what happens to you? If you find what people need and you can provide it for them, what happens to you? And you can make some money. And as long as that need never runs out, how long do you make money? All right, so this was a no-brainer for me. I said, well, I never taught about money. If they're teaching people about money, if they're helping people with money, if they're helping people win the money game, if they're helping people, learn about the basic rules of winning, the financial game, that just made sense to me. I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't good in finance. I dropped out of the business school, got a public relations degree, but they said I didn't need to be good at all that. They said, John, look, if you're the kind of person who's always, you don't like, there's 3 basic people that like what we're doing, kind of things that attract people. One is the person that wakes up in the morning not excited about what they do every day, and they go to work, and they're every day they're thinking, I've got to do something different. I've got to find an option. I've got to develop a choice. This is not working. There's a whole group of people out there like that. There's another group of people who love what they do, but they don't make enough money. And so they're always doing things on the side to make more money. Or they're very motivated and they always have part-time jobs to make more money. And then there's another group of people that just hate working for other people. The idea of having somebody else dictate and control their lives and tell them what to do and when to do it and where to do it and how to do it is repulsive to them. And they said that the solution is to be my own boss, to own my own business. Now, can you all see where most people would be interested in at least one of those things? Okay, so when you're looking at Primerica, you have to understand that's what we offer. Now, there's a guy out there named Robert Kiyosaki. And Robert Kiyosaki, many of you have heard of Robert Kiyosaki. How many of you have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or you're familiar with the Cashflow Quadrant? Okay, most of you are. But let me just kind of hit this fast, because to me, this really hit me because it made so much sense as to why Primerica was the only choice for most people when it came to developing an option. See, Kiyosaki talks about how we earn our money. And he said, look, if we really went around the room right now, we did a poll, and we said, okay, what do you really want in life? What's really important to you in your life? What are the things that you would list out that would give you a better quality of life? We would get time and money. We'd get that quickly. If we all had more time to do things we wanted, that would be better. If we had more money to do the things we wanted, that would be good. And then obviously you have your spirituality, you've got your relationships, and you've got your health. There's probably some other things, but basically those are the things that would give us a better quality of life. But when it comes to the subject of time and money, Kiyosaki said those two, if you've got more time and more money, then you got some options in the other areas. So let's look at that. So how do we make our money? We all have to choose. Every one of us in this room have to figure out how are we going to earn our money. He said most people make money as employees. See, our school system's completely designed to say go to school, get good grades, graduate high school, then go to college and get a degree, and then go out and get a good job with benefits, right? And then if you're really smart, what you'll do is you'll get another degree, you'll get them to pay for it, and then you'll get more pay, and you can work for 40 years, and everything's going to work out. How's that program working for most people? And I'm not going to go there because Brett will do a plenty good job at it. But the reality is, it's not working out for most people. Employees, basically, he said most people are trained to become employees. The employees paid a position, not a person. And just a quick story. Patty and I are just experiencing, we've always wanted our kids, if they wanted to get in the business, Our daughter just graduated college. She went to the University of Massachusetts. She has a communications degree, and she had this dream of getting a job in New York City, and so she got a job. She had 2 job offers, and she took the job that she really wanted in New York City. She had done an internship there, and so she thought she really liked it. It's in the entertainment field. She's very excited, and she says, well, Dad, I took this job in New York City, so I need somewhere to live. Well, living in New York City, first off, the job is paying about $30,000 a year, and it costs about $30,000 a year to have an apartment in New York City. So she found a roommate, and they got an apartment, and when it was all done, we split and it was still $1,500. Well, her take-home's $2,000. So Mom and Dad, fortunately for this business, that's not a problem. If that's our daughter's dream, to live and experience New York City. And in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, I want her in Primerica. We need her in Primerica. I need her in but that's her decision. So she gets to work. She started working her new job. She's there 3 weeks. And in the 3rd week, we started to hear some rumblings that she'd had some mishaps at work and things weren't going so well. And she actually had a conversation with Patty one day where she went into work and they were yelling at her and screaming at her and making her feel like crap. And she got with her boss and she said, let me explain something to you. I'm not used to this. I'm brought up in an environment with love and encouragement and where people believe in others and they try to make people feel special. And if my mom and dad ran their business the way you run this business around here, they'd have no business. That's what she said. It's not a good thing to say to your boss. Well, here's what the boss said. The boss said, well, I'm sorry, it's just not our culture. I understand where you're coming from, but that's not the way we do things around here. But maybe Sophie, you could bring that to our environment. Maybe you could bring a pushing up people. So here's this, 23-year-old brand new job. She's got to bring the Primerica environment to the corporation. Well, a few days later, she was on the phone crying to her mom because it was like Sunday. I always talk about Sundays. How many of you have a job? Raise your hand. Okay, honestly, Sunday around 4 o'clock. Y'all know the pit, right? So I was talking to her. She was feeling it coming, and she was saying. I said, Sophie, how's it going? She says, every day I'm sick to my stomach when I get up. That's what she's telling me. I don't want my daughter to be that unhappy. Here's what she says. This is kind of cool. She says, Dad, what I've been doing is I've been going for the last 3 mornings, every morning before I go to work, I go to the Primerica website. And I read all the stuff about Primerica. Primerica's really looking good, and it makes me positive, and it makes me feel good. And so I don't know what's going to happen. This week was a great week. I don't know. But she's in that upper left quadrant. And she's already experienced it in 3 weeks. Okay? But how many people out there don't even know there's an option? They just got to play the game. So that's where most people are. And then there's a group of people that are self-employed. That's the second group. And Kiyosaki says they own their job. They own their job. See, you could be a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, a hairstylist, a real estate agent, or a salesperson. Oh, I need to hit the button. Oh, there it is. Okay? Sorry. You could be any of those things. And can you make a lot of money in those professions? Sure you can. These are some of the brightest and best in the world. But there's a problem, he said. He says, if you're a dentist, if you're not working, what's happening? You're not what? Yeah, so if you're a dentist, and you're vacationing on the beach of Hawaii right now, sipping on a pina colada, you're not drilling any teeth, what are you earning? Not a dime. If you cut hair for a living, but you're not cutting hair right now, you're in this meeting, how much are you making? Not a dime. So he says, yes, you can make a lot of money, but you're limited by your hours. There's only so many hours in a day. He said, then there's the third group of people that own a business. Now, how many of you know someone who owns a business? Now, do they own their business, or does their business own them? Well, there's a distinction, isn't there? Some people own their business. Other people, their business owns them. Kiyosaki said a business owner, the definition is that a business owner can build the business, leave the business for 1 year, come back, and it made a profit. Many people who think they own a business, if they left for a day or two, there would be nothing left when they got back. That's self-employed. See, this idea of business owners, this idea of recruiting and training and developing others to run a business. See, if you don't have to be there, then who's there? The employees are there. The people that you recruited, trained, and developed to run the business. Now, if you've got a business that's running without you because you recruited, trained, and developed people to run the business, what can you do? Do whatever you want. You got freedom. You've got time. You've got money. See, time and money are two things, but freedom is way more important. See, time and money is good, but when you've got the freedom to make the choices every day, that's what most of us want. How many of you would agree the goal would be lots of time, lots of money, and lots of freedom? Anybody? Business owners, the ticket. Business owners, the ticket. I had those people stand up. I want to explain something to you. 10 years ago, Patty and I moved back to Philadelphia. 10 years ago, we left Florida, moved back to Philadelphia, and I think we've been to Florida 4 times a year, maybe, Patrick's probably counted, but 4 times a year, maybe, each year for the last 10 years. And I don't really have to do much with that group of people because we equip those people with the fundamentals of our business, and that business has grown and exploded. Well, because those guys are self-reliant, they've got their own dreams and goals. They've got their own accomplishments. Our company, look, all I can do now is help them, coach them, encourage them, be there for them, counsel them. But basically, our team in Florida knows what they're doing. My goal, I'm afraid to say much they're doing so well. I'm just going to kind of leave them alone. They seem to be doing just fine without us. That's the idea built. So what do? We went to Philadelphia. You know what we did? We built another business. Now we've got a whole new base shop going. Jackie Ashford, who's here, who won the trip, we brought her down with us, is an incredible, she's a division leader, incredible leader. And I said, she's like, sit next to Sam Shepard. She goes, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm sitting next to Sam Shepard. Oh my God. I said, Jackie, do you understand? When she says, I get to sit here again? Like she's sitting over there at that table. I said, Jackie, do you understand with what you're doing, with what you've learned how to do, and how hard you work, and how good your skills are, and how good you are with people, that if you keep doing exactly what you're doing and listen to what we tell you to do, you're going to live this way for the rest of your life? That's the reality for every one of you in this room. The formulas are built. The systems are set. All you have to do is be the best copier, the fastest and best I know some of you are going, copy? Oh, I could do that. Okay? Business owner. Build something that operates without you. The last quadrant is the investor. And obviously the investor is the person that has enough assets. They've got real estate. They've got stocks. They've got bonds. They've got retirement funds. They've got money. They have built enough assets where they can live off their money. All our lives we work for money, folks, and until one day, hopefully, our money can work what? Yeah, or instead of us. Wouldn't it be nice to have enough money where it could just work instead of you having to work? And that's the investor, and that's the goal for our clients, isn't it? They used to call, a financial independence, having enough money, the definition of financial independence, having enough money where you can live off the money for the rest of your life and never have to go back to work. That's the definition that we came up with. All right? So that whole idea, that used to be called retirement. See, retirement used to be an age. See, now retirement's an amount. You've either got enough to do it or you don't. And you know what the stats are telling us? Most don't. And most won't. As a matter of fact, if people don't get clear on what we're doing, they got no prayer. We are truly the only company that has a total mission of helping families really win the money game. We're the only ones. That's our mission. That's what we're about. That's through our core. It's always been that way. So Kiyosaki said there's 4 ways to make money. And we all have choices. Now, if you could pick any 2 ways to make money, which 2 would you take? Did I go to the next slide? If you could pick any 2 ways to make money, which would you choose? The left side or the right side? And by the way, when I ask that question, everybody says the same thing. If you went to 10 people right now and showed them the same presentation, what are they going to tell you? Right side. Where are most people? Where are you? I had a guy, well, some of you think you're on the right side. Most people in this room, there's very few people in this room at this point that are truly on the left side. You've either accumulated a lot of money and you're free, or you built a business that creates and generates income for you and you're free. And the great news is that every single one of you in this room in the next 3 to 5 years can be clearly on the right side of the quadrant. But most people are on the left. And they all want to be on the right. Almost everyone wants to be on the right, they're on the left. So here's the question. Are there legitimate reasons that people aren't on the right side? What's kept most people from getting to the right side? I mean, if you really look at the things that stop people from getting a business and getting investments and understanding investments, what is it? Are there legitimate things? Yeah, what stops most people? Tell me. Fear. Let's use fear at the end. Let's look at what's the first thing? Usually you need a lot of money. You need a lot of time. Most people don't have a lot of money or a lot of extra time. They got jobs, they got families, they got responsibilities, they got wishes, they got hopes. They want to be on the right, but they don't. What's the third thing? They don't know how. They don't have a coach. They don't have a mentor. They don't have a system. And so an idea, and most businesses that open, really, out of 10 businesses that open in America today, how many are open 5 years from now? 1, maybe 2. So most people don't have the time, they don't have the money, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the coaching. There's lots of risk because most businesses fail, which causes the last one, that was the first one, fear, to stop them. So most of us only, now listen y'all, stay with me. Most people only ever hope to do it. They wish to do it, but they never get around to doing it. What you've walked into, so however you got here, and you're here, is you have entered, whether you decide to use this or not is up to you, but you're here, and you're here, and basically every one of you, we remove all those barriers. We take them all away. And here's the question. If we could show you how to get to the right side of the quadrant, how to build a business, how to remove those obstacles, how to not have time be an issue because you can do it part-time to see if you like it, how you cannot have money be an issue because it's $99 and you get it back when you make your first sale on your own, plus a bonus program. How you don't have a knowledge issue because we've got whoever invited you here can't wait to teach you how to be successful here, because if they teach you how to do it, that makes them money. I mean, we have a financial interest in you learning as quickly as possible. We have class and we have training and we put these seminars on, and when we're done this one, there'll be another one coming up, and we've got the video, and we've got PFN TV, and we've got your leaders and your schools at your offices, and you can go online and learn everything you want. You can get the audios. The knowledge is the knowledge of it. If you wanted to learn this, could you? It's all right there. So we removed really the risk. People, what's the risk? There's no risk. There's zero risk. The worst thing that happens, worst case, is you come in here, hang around us for a little while, get a clearer understanding of how money works, learn how not to get ripped off by the insurance companies, by the banks, credit card companies, and mortgage companies, learn some basic principles of investing. Maybe if you're really stick around a little long, you get some licenses, you get some experience, and if it didn't work out, you take away from this experience a positive group of people that are excited going somewhere, doing something big, and you've learned how to win the money game yourself. That's the worst case scenario. Best case, change your life forever. Get totally free. Look, ladies and gentlemen, here's the reality. You get good at doing a little kitchen table presentation, which we've got audios. You get with your leader, whatever they're doing. Find the best person in your office and go listen to them, maybe record them and listen to that over and over again. And you learn to present. You get your licenses and you do those things. And then you commit to learning it in a simple way where you can recruit somebody and develop and train them to do the same thing. And you work with those people and teach those people and pour your heart and soul into those people. and literally reproduce yourself. Get somebody else who's as good as you. Find somebody who's willing to do the work, to put the time in. And let me explain to you what's happening here. I mean, here's the bottom line of it all. We've got an incredible team, and now we've got a great base shop, and we're getting ready to produce a bunch of vice presidents. They're going to the position of vice president with one goal in mind, and that's coming out, making $150,000 to $200,000 their first year as a vice president. That's the mindset in our base. That's what we've worked hard on. That's what Dick promised me. He says, John, if you do it right, and you build enough direct with people direct to you, you can't lose. See, folks, if you wanted to build a $50,000 a year income for the rest of your life, if you wanted to put investments in place that would yield you $50,000 a year no matter what, statistically they say that if you accumulated $1 million, you could safely take 5% of that a year, or you could take $50,000 a year out of that and never run out of money. Okay, that's the goal, $1 million. How long would it take for most of you starting today, based on the income that you've got and the money, extra money that you've got, to save enough to accumulate $1 million? How long would that take? Don't answer good. I just want you to think about how long that would take. If you were great at it, I mean, if you were, a Brett Burks, you might be able to do that, save $1 million after another business he's got in maybe a 2-year period, right? If you were most people in here, probably it's going to take you 15 or 20 years of diligent savings, which every one of you could decide to do, and you could accumulate your $1 million. You save $1,000 a month and average about 11 to 12%. You do that for 20 years, you'll have $1 million. That's an odd. Then you're going to have $50,000 a year. Good deal, right? There's a much faster way. Anybody want to know what it is? Now, here's how you do it. You get to RVP, step 1. And then you develop a vice president. You bring somebody on board and you teach that person, show that person, encourage that person, put them in the environment, you pour your heart into them, and you get them to a point where they're making $100,000 a year. So you develop somebody who's got one of these rings. And what that equates to you, if you're their vice president, is a passive income of $50,000 a year in overrides as a result of the business that they produce. So if you produce somebody who makes $200,000 a year, that's $100,000 for you. If you develop a frontline vice president who makes $300,000 a year, that's how much? $150,000 a year. So how long would it take? Merlene Pascal came in. Merlene, where are you? Merlene came into the business. I'm not sure where. There she is. Merlene came in. How long from day one to vice president? 21 months. So Hubert Lejeune poured Hubert Lejeune got with Merlene. Merlene was coachable, and Hubert taught Merlene what Hubert knew how to do, which was to present, close business, get referrals, book appointments, present, close business, get referrals, make appointments, and present. That's what he taught her. And now she's well on track to $100,000 her first year as a vice president. 21 months it took for Hubert to develop. Merlene's still working with Merlene, but now Merlene, when she's at $100,000, that's $50,000 a year for the Lejeune family. 21 months. Let's say it took 3 to 4 years. Let's say it took 5 years. And for every 5 years of investment that you put in a person, you develop that $50,000 residual. That's equivalent to $1 million. Now you tell me what's easier. Finding somebody in America today who wants to win and pouring your heart and soul into them and teaching them and putting them in this environment, and developing a $100,000 earner that develops you $50,000 a year, or going and saving enough to accumulate $1 million. You tell me which one's going to be a little simpler, a little bit more realistic, a lot more exciting, and to know that you're just a few years away from what's equivalent to $1 million saved. And now if you do that and save the $1 million, you get free. Then you're on the right side of the quadrant. Y'all with me? So we want to challenge you. Patty and I are pumped up. We're getting ready to get our 7th diamond, and it's going like this. And now, Sam, I relate to everything you said because it's been a roller coaster. It never goes straight up. But here's what they say. When the going's good, you better get all you can get. And I'm going to tell you, I've been here a long time, 31 years. Patty and I have never seen it this good. I've never seen everything is lined up. The economy is lined up. Things are bad out there for the world. Makes it better for us because people are hurting and they need some hope. They need a place to go. They need a place where they can make some darn money and learn how to make their money work better. So we got an unbelievable business opportunity. We've got an unbelievable company that will give us everything we want. We're free from any corporation, right? And we've got an unbelievable environment and system that you can plug into and use. All you've got to do is make a decision to go get yours, okay? Is that a deal? So we love you guys. We appreciate you, and we'll look forward to spending more time with you tomorrow. Thank you.